Now for our main topic today, focuses on President Hank Foley's inauguration speech on Monday. President Foley focused on the future of our school. We also had one-on-one exclusive interview with him.
But before we get to what Foley wants to do for our school, let's tell you guys a little bit about our president. Hank Foley is originally from Rhode Island and now resides in Plandome, New York. He received his bachelor's degree in chemistry at Providence College, received his master's in chemistry from Purdue University, and his doctorate in physical and inorganic chemistry from Penn State.
As you can see, our president has a strong science background. President Foley holds 16 patents and is a published writer, having written more than 150 articles and a textbook. He has worked as a chemistry professor at the University of Missouri-Columbia and as a professor of chemical and biochemical engineering at Missouri University of Science and Technology.
Before coming to NYIT, President Foley worked also as an interim chancellor at the University of Missouri-Columbia. He now serves as our 4th president at NYIT. His goals includes updating our technology and developing new programs at our college. His vision for our school includes making NYIT one of the top 5 colleges in the Northeast.
He also spoke about how technology dependent the world is becoming, focusing on our current programs in artificial intelligence and robotics as examples of our technological focus. How does he plan to do all this? Well, take a look at our one-on-one interview with President Foley.
You said that you want us to become part of the top 5 best schools in the Northeast. How do you plan on accomplishing that?
Yeah, so there's a lot to do, but we've got metrics that allow us to do that. The first thing we've got to do is we've got to work on retention and graduation rates. That's absolutely the most important thing. Then on top of that, we've got to work on what we do in scholarship and research, and we've got to improve that. And then you look around and you know that we need to invest in the infrastructure and our students so that they feel more comfortable here in Manhattan or wherever else. I mean, we're going to move to a new location in Vancouver. We need to be looking at all those kinds of opportunities as we go forward in time. We need to recruit and retain excellent faculty members, right? We need to support them, particularly the ones who are really supportive of the students. And then we've got to also be very, very appreciative of staff. So it's really about putting people first.
In terms of becoming a 21st century school, could you define that for us?
Yeah, I think a 21st century school and a 21st century polytechnic is one that has its doors wide open in the spirit of what Alexander Schur did originally, that meets students where they are, but as I say, takes them to where they need to be professionally so that they're ready for their careers and they can be successful. I think those are the key things. On top of that, though, at NYIT, as I've said, we need to be more cognizant of the things that we could do to enhance the in-classroom experiences with experiences that are extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, service learning projects, things that I think really turn students on, make them feel involved, and let them use what they're learning before they start their careers.
Do you think in terms of technology that will be more updated in the school and that will help us maintain our careers?
Yeah, I think we've got to. In fact, I was sitting with the chair of the computer science department just now talking about blockchain and AI and all the things we need to do to get that rolling faster here for our students. You know, the challenge for a school like us is that what we teach has to constantly be refreshed.
For our faculty members at NYIT, a lot of our professors are not so great with using technology. How do you ensure that they become more updated and stay updated with it?
Yeah. So what we've got to have, I think, is a lot of buy-in on the idea that they need to use technology, and some never will, but the ones who will can teach the ones who are more afraid to use it. No one wants to get in front of a classroom and flub. Although I've done it many times. I used to carry PCs to the classroom, if you can imagine, you can't imagine, and set them up before class, and sometimes they'd work, and sometimes they wouldn't. But most people won't do that. Most people want to know that everything's going to work. So I think what we've got to do is really focus on what technologies do we need, what are the most appropriate technologies for each area, and then teach the faculty in those areas, and hopefully faculty teach faculty.
You stated in order to achieve our mission and goal and vision that we need to add new programs and cut out what's not working. Which new programs do you plan on implementing and getting rid of?
So I think when I look at the programs that we have right now, there are some gaps. I think that at the undergraduate level, I'd like to see us doing more around statistics, applied mathematics. I'd like to see us involved in financial technology, areas of that kind, data science, data analytics. I think it's there, but it's hard to pull it together, and we need to pull it together so the students see it. I think those are very current programs that students desperately want to have and that employers want to employ students from. As far as the things that we're doing that we probably need to stop, I don't know yet. But that's going to be a comprehensive kind of institute-wide analysis. And we got to look at the academics. We got to look at how student success is. We got to look at whether the curricula need to be updated, as you were asking me about, that sort of thing. Right? And then there may be some that just aren't appropriate anymore. We'll see. It'll take time. We have to do it carefully.
You stated in your video and again in your speech that you want NYIT to be critical and creative.
Yeah.
What do the arts and sciences have in common?
So the arts and sciences are both very human-centered. Even engineering. If you think about engineering design, it has so much in common, really, with what we do in the arts. The part that I'm talking about is sort of that critical perspective that people take, particularly in the humanities and other areas, in looking at problems and using that critical perspective as a way to really get at the heart of the problem, but then flip it and try to use design and systems thinking to create solutions, societal solutions, sustainable solutions, digital solutions, all those things that we think are really important.
You mentioned about the Facebook scandal and Mark Zuckerberg and how he has to go to Washington and all of that. Communication arts has a lot to do with social media and research since it's very data-driven. How does communication arts and fine arts come together in your vision?
So it's interesting. I'd have to really give that more thought, how communication arts and fine arts come together. Communication arts, I think, are digital now, and I think that the fine arts are becoming digital, more and more digital, and there's an opportunity to bring those two together, perhaps in creative ways that I wouldn't think of, but that students and really creative faculty might think of. Communications, a lot of it is about attention getting, right? And in the arts, it's also often about, breaking paradigms and getting attention on certain problems. I think maybe that's where the interface is. That's a really interesting question.
Thank you so much, President Foley.
Hey, thank you guys. You're wonderful. Thanks.